It's taking so long. There it goes. Finally, it's up. And it's a little bit behind. It's supposed to be ultra low latency, but it's not. 10, 15 seconds. Still nothing there. Wow. What is going on there? Waiting for it to begin. And I'm streaming it. There we go. Finally, let's see if I can hear my sound. Okay. All right, looks like the sound's working. The sound's working there. The sound's working. All right, looks like the sound's working. It sounds a little broken up there. Can you guys hear? You got a notification. Well, I set it up a little bit earlier. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the program. Good evening. Wow, I stepped away for a couple hours, and look what happens over the weekend. Crazy, crazy stuff there. Crazy, crazy stuff. I'm sorry. That is back there. Some crap hanging my window there. That's curtains. There we go. There we go. Anyway, sorry about that. Anyway, so how's it going? Man, oh man, oh man. What a game I went to in Northampton. The Springbok women just crushed Brazil. 10 tries. It was unbelievable. Hey, William, I'm doing fine. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Be sure to hit the like button, folks. Let me just pause this. I wanted that going there. So, yeah, so quite a bit going on here, folks. Trump, National Guard, the ANC below 30% according to a DA poll. I don't know how reliable that's going to be, the DA poll, but anyway, suppose they're below 30% now. So all kinds of stuff happening. So how are you managing, Colonel? Hip is all right today, although I had a long walk. So the park and ride was no park and ride. It was a park and walk your ass to the stadium. 20-minute walk. That wasn't pleasant. And I booked the north lot, which is closer. And when I got there, I drove by the west lot, and they said, "This is the west lot. You can't go to the north lot. It's full." I said, "No, but I can't walk very far." And so they called up and said, "We can squeeze you in." They had plenty of space, actually. So I went up there and I went into the north lot, and then I got out and I walked, and I walked, and I walked, and I walked. Oof. A farm attack a neighbor an hour ago. People got stabbed. Good Lord. Sorry to hear that, Conrad. I hope it was the attackers that were stabbed and not the people on the farms. Anyway, so yeah, so walked a good 20 minutes to get to the stadium. It was quite a crowd. It was a doubleheader, so Ireland, Japan, and the game was much more competitive than it sounded. The final score was 42-14, but it was 28-14. Japan was driving on the 3-meter line when they threw a poor pass. It was intercepted by Ireland. They ran all the way back and scored, and that made it 35-14. And then they scored once more. But the Japanese were on the verge of closing the gap to just one converted try. It was a really, really good game, actually. Ireland weren't dominant. All these other teams have been dominant, including South Africa, 66-6, and there was a try disallowed at the end because of an obstruction call. It was clearly obstruction, though, so it kind of sucked. The official for this was what's her name? Holly Davidson. She's really good. She and Amy Barrett-Thron. So, yep. So, good doubleheader. But man, oh my goodness, I was sitting in the east side of the stadium, and the sun came out the first day England had sun. I wore trousers so I wouldn't get sunburned on my legs, but man, oh man, had to shield my face like this most of the time, just cover it up all the time. Like I was saluting everybody. I'd left my hat in the car, so I got this hat. This is from when I was up in Sunderland. So I got one of these for every World Cup for the men's, and I got this one for the women's. First time they did it. What's cool about the women's is these logos are much larger because there's only 16 teams, not 20 that they have to stick on a hat. It's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, there's the Springboks right there on the back. Eagles down here on the front in color. The last one, the Eagles were in black and white in France. I don't understand that. So white text or white thread. Anyway, so what a game, man. What an unbelievable game. It was something else. Nadine Ruiz was fantastic. Oh, by the way, I got a selfie with Nadine Ruiz after the game and also one of the other players. Really cool stuff. So, yeah, it's been a decent Sunday. A bit of driving to get there and around. But yeah. Yeah, no, well, this is because it's women's, yes. So I've got this is the first Women's World Cup. I think they've actually made these caps. I've never seen them before. Maybe they did in New Zealand. I don't know. I didn't go to New Zealand, so I might have done it there, but they didn't do it previously. So please pray for Neil De Beer. Where did you see him at, Marcia? Yeah, I know he's not doing well. Last message sent to him, he didn't even respond to it. I read it. Yeah, no, Neil is not doing well. It's not good. He's holding on, but yeah, cancer's kind of bad. It's a terrible thing, cancer. Anyway, CB's here. Oh, the Greek was thrashed. What a weekend of rugby. The Springboks were atrocious, but they won. But they're not. They're in third place because they didn't get that bonus point. So the Springboks won, thankfully. But the All Blacks lost. They lost. They lost. They didn't lose. They were beaten by the Pumas. The Pumas beaten. I watched that game live last night. Oh my goodness, that was incredible. That was absolutely incredible. Incredible. Fantastic. Incredible stuff, man. Take off glasses, get emotional. No, I'm taking glasses off because I don't like the reflection on the screen. That's why I'm taking them off. Yeah, we got lucky. That's right, Dylan. We got lucky. But today we didn't get lucky. Today we just slaughtered Brazil. So on top of that, the Griquas just destroyed the Bulls. The standings are the Cheetahs, Boland, and the Griquas 1, 2, 3. Let me find my stats here, my standings here. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine that, folks? So it's the Cheetahs at 4 wins and 1 loss, 21 points on the log. Cavaliers, 4 wins and 1 loss. They're guaranteed a winning season, 21 points on the log. Even if they win the next 2, they have winning season. And the Glick was 4 and 1 with 20 points on the log. Wow. Then the Lions at 3 and 2, the Pumas 2 and 3, the Bulls at 2 and 3, Sharks at 1 and 4, and Province at 0 and 5. Can you believe it? And people are like, don't. The Currie Cup. Who wants the Currie Cup? Who's going to watch the Currie Cup? Well, I'm going to watch the Currie Cup. I love the Currie Cup, man. I love it. It's fantastic. It's brilliant. Yeah, so they just 42 was it 42 to 21, I think was the total score. Hang on a second here. The Grick was 42 to 21 at home. The Grick was just no, I'm sorry. Were they at home or were they in I thought the game was in Loftus. Let's see where the game was at. It doesn't say where the game's at, but I thought it was at Loftus. But it looks like it might have been at home. Wow. Watch the game so far. Darn, those rugby chicks are big and mean, man. Some of them are. Boland is definitely starting things up this year. They are. Hey, Mercia Smith, why'd you delete your message? Yeah, no, Boland's really rocking the boat there. Those guys are fantastic. I'm really rooting for Boland now, even though they got crappy jerseys. Yeah, JJ Krieger, what's up? I don't know what Bulls are doing, but I would love if the lower tier teams make the top Currie Cup. Yeah, well, I was excited when the Pumas and the Griquas got the championship a couple years ago. Played at Grizzlies. What's Grizzlies? I don't know that. Oh, at a club stadium. Okay, that's why. Honey thinks I was South African in previous life. At Grizzlies. Thank you, guys. It wasn't at Loftus. Well, which was? Anyway. Yeah, they were home, but they weren't at Loftus. All right. Quagga tackled White so hard his head bounced like a ball on the field that Faf must feel vindicated. Exactly. Exactly. That's terrible about the farm attack. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about that too, Mark. Rugby Club in Victoria West. Got it. Rugby was so cool. I was so surprised, but happy when I saw All Blacks lost. Oh, so Maria, I stayed up for it. I watched the game. It was awesome. I didn't see the whole thing because I had the game earlier and I hadn't got back. And I used a VPN to check into my system and I had enough network connection I could do it last night. And I watched it. It was unbelievable. It was off the hook. Great stuff. Great to see the All Blacks lose in Argentina. I was loving that immensely. Springboks women's rugby team. How does the coach give a pep talk in the change room before game and halftime? Oh, that sounds like a bad joke. Coming. Marlene Kalitz, prayers to Neil. Okay. Great women's game. Bucks game was a bit timid. Yeah, the women's game was fantastic. It was incredible. It was incredible, folks. That was, like I said, I hung around after the game. I was in a hurry because daylight wasn't a rush. And I got a photo with Nadine Russ, and she's a tough-looking little thing. And excuse me. Also, one of the other players, which was fantastic. Yeah, they were really nice. They hung around after the game, and the crowd. The English always root for the underdog, and they were just cheering big time for Brazil. Brazil got their first points ever in a World Cup. They scored 6 points, two points on penalty, two conversions on penalties. It was really well done. Yeah, feel free to hit the like button, folks, if you don't mind. All right, so let's see. We've got a few things to talk about here. First off, yeah, so Cockprat 24 says Springbok women make major statement as World Cup journey starts with a win, and it did. They play Italy next. They can beat Italy. It won't be easy, but they can beat Italy. But they had a lot of unforced errors in the first half, a lot of handling errors they're going to have to clean up. They can't play that way against Italy. They converted most of their tries, which was pretty good. And their tries were all over the pitch, and they were scored by a lot of different women. So I'd have to say the ladies are going to have to have better control. The forwards had a bad time with the ball possession. Most of the forwards knocking it on repeatedly, losing the ball, and a lot of stupid penalties. Otherwise, it could have been 100-6 easily. Could have been 106. Yeah, all played, won, and lost. But the problem is the bonus points, and the All Blacks are top in bonus points. So the Springboks going to have to defeat them twice, or keep them from getting a bonus point in both games, and get a bonus point in both. Oh, Asanate Labakanye tested positive for a performance-enhancing drug. Yep, a banned substance. He's out of the New Zealand tour. So Labakanye is out, and he's gone. So he tested positive for performance-enhancing. So that's not good. Yep, South Africa off to a perfect start in the 2025 Women's Rugby World Cup, securing a comfortable, dominant 66-6 win over Brazil in Northampton. I was there in the tournament opener on Sunday. The Bucks will have sterner tests than this, with fixtures against Italy and France in their pool. But this was as good a start as they could have hoped for. And the Bucks are now one victory away, in all likelihood, from securing historic playoff berth. Yeah, if they can beat Italy, they would be in the playoffs. Wouldn't that be something? Was their first win in a World Cup group stage match. Yep. Start to finish, the Bucks were on the front foot. They owned the physical exchanges, set piece. Oh yeah, they were just bowling over. The Brazilian women could not tackle for beans. Although one of their players is a hell of a tackler. She had like 19 tackles, something like that in the first half. Didn't miss any tackles. The side is looking to make the quarterfinals of Rugby World Cup for the first time. They'll have to beat one of Italy or France. I think they can beat Italy, not France. Whew, there's lots of reasons to believe, folks. I'm telling you, it was an incredible game. Let's see what the stats are here. Let me see what they got here. So, oh, they don't have the stats here. Damn it. I thought the stats would be here. Okay. It was impressive. And there was a hat trick from one of the forwards. It was incredible. 66-6. Oh, is it over here? Penalties, conversions, drop goals. Oh, they didn't update it. Stupid Cockprot 24. Okay, so that's that. I know I have it somewhere else here. 10 try. Let me see. Maybe that's where the stats will be over in Rugby 365. There we go. Okay, so yeah. So Fiwe is the one who got the man of the match. She was brilliant. Let me see. Full-time. 10 tries to none. 8 conversions. So Nadine Ruiz, Hella had 3. Malinga had 3. Janssen van Rensburg had a brace, and Makua. And there was one that was overturned because of an obstruction late in the game. Penalties, Kohan, very interesting name for Brazil, another German name there. She had both conversions and penalties. So it was just something else, folks. What a game. Yeah, Malinga, I would have had a third try, but there was obstruction. So we would have had 3 people with hat tricks in the game if it hadn't been. No, she would have had a brace, excuse me. No, Malinga would have had a 4th try, sorry. Yeah, she would have had a 4th try had it not been. So it would have been a 3 and 4. But anyway, 2 hat tricks in the game. Give me notification, not giving. Yeah, Lindy, I don't know what to tell you. Women's team are well structured, a good coach. Hope they get through the knockouts. I think they will. They got to beat Italy, though. I think they can beat Italy. If they beat Italy, they're going to move on. That's my thoughts on it. So I'm hoping so. And I'll be at that game. I'll be that's in New York. I'll be at that game. So I'm going to be rooting for the Bucks hard that day. Rooting for them hard. Okay. What else we got here? Okay, so, oh, geez. Yeah, so, where's he at? Dr. Phil has been hit with a $500 million lawsuit, and he's filed for bankruptcy. Facing a lawsuit from Trinity Broadcasting Network, accusing him of orchestrating a years-long fraudulent scheme to swindle the Christian broadcaster out of funds under a $500 million agreement. The complaint submitted to the U.S. Bankruptcy Court in Texas claims the TV personality engaged in a scheme to fleece them, a non-for-profit corporation, to enrich McCraw, his associates, and affiliates. The court documents specify that affiliates include Dr. Phil himself and Patetsky Productions. Huh. Wow. So Dr. Phil's being sued. Representative Patetsky said that the TBN's latest lawsuits riddled with provable lies and is part of a lawfare litigation strategy designed to distract people so no one notices when TBN ultimately is held accountable for walking away from its commitments here. Well, we'll see. TBN claims in 2022 Dr. Phil sought a deal with them as an alternative to CBS, criticizing CBS for censorship. They formed a joint venture, Merritt Street Media, with TBN owning 70%, Dr. Phil's company receiving $20 million upfront and a potential $50 million annually if contractual obligations were met. Well, apparently they weren't met, according to these guys. Anyway, Dr. Phil. Wow. So is he bankrupt? Huh. Network quickly plunged into financial distress, with trouble brewing shortly after his highly publicized and flattering primetime interview with President Trump. By August of last year, they laid off 40 employees, nearly a third of its workforce. The Chapter 11 bankruptcy was filed. Oh, he's not bankrupt. It's a company he formed. What's this? What's this? What about refugee questions? Ronaldo was on the Sunday show. Ronaldo was on the Sunday show with Chris Sten. Okay. Interesting. 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 So, Jabba the Hutt's at it again, folks, saying that we've lost our glory. A long time ago there, sweetheart. Jabba. Oh, Solo. Me go to Iran to get money for ANC. Solo. Oh, Solo. Yes. What are you talking about there, Garrett, in the Middle East? We've lost our glory, says Lady Pondor. Calls for ANC renewal. How about ANC dismissal? How about ANC discombobulation? How about ANC? Yeah, I know he was on last week, Hendo, but I didn't know he was on this week as well. In one of her most candid and undiplomatic public reflections since leaving office, ANC stalwart Naledi Pandor has delivered a sobering admission the ANC is but a shadow of its former greatness. No shit, Sherlock. We're sitting prepping for tomorrow's interviews. Okay, good luck with that. Okay, guys, enough of Ronaldo. You want to watch Ronaldo? Go watch his streams, okay? Jeez. Okay, got it. Yes, it was a good hiding there. What a hiding. People are probably asking the same questions again in the end. I just haven't done it. Anyway, delivering the Gertrude Chope Memorial Lecture at the Acacia Community Hall in Pretoria in Schwane. Good Lord, can we turn that all African? It was all Afrikaans before. Pondor paid homage to Chope, calling for an unapologetic revival anchored in revolutionary morality. She should just shut up and go away. No one wants to hear her cake hole. I believe she would say, it's possible, comrades, to arrest the slide. It is possible, comrades, to restore our lost glory. And we have lost our glory. Let's not pretend about it. We've lost it. The people are looking at us with disdain, horror, and shame. So that's because you're criminals. It's because you're crooks. It's because you're racist, hateful, slimy, nasty bastards. That's who you are, ANC. There's no glory in the African National Congress. Whatever goodwill you had, you squandered with your rapacious appetite for theft from the people and your racism. And even people see through your garbage, Lady Pondor, according to a Democratic Alliance poll, which I'm not going to buy into, which has been particularly accurate in the past, according to Cockprot 24. The ANC currently has just 29% support amongst registered voters, 11% lower than the 40% they received in last year's general elections. Shows the DA is now just 1 percentage point behind the ANC. John Steenhuisen's DA has 28% support, and I call bullshit. That's sorry. That's a yellow card. Yellow card. Sorry. There's no way the DA is at 28% in their fantasies. In their fantasies. Oh, no way. 6 percentage points more than they received in last year's elections. DA's polling is conducted by telephone among 1,820 democratically represented respondents who are all registered voters. Reflecting the state of ANC, Pondor revealed her unease during the lead-up to the May 2024 elections, particularly after observing empty seats among the Women's League at a rally. In a tribute titled Bearing the Burdens of History with Dignity and Courage, Pondor celebrated Chope, who died in May at age 99, as a pivotal force in the women's movement. I'll stop with this nonsense. Women hating men. I'm sick of it. Born 1925 in Joburg, raised in Zimbabwe and trained as a teacher like Jabba the Hutt herself, Chope was exiled from 1966 to 1990. Sadly, she also knew the corruption that has dragged the revolutionary morality. Stop this revolution. You people are not revolutionaries. You're not revolutionaries. You didn't incite a revolution. You didn't overthrow a government. You didn't win a war. You didn't do jack squat. You are not revolutionaries. You're fantasists in your mind. You're perverted lunatics. The ANC is not a revolutionary party. It is not a revolutionary spirit. This is all bullshit propaganda talk. I'm so sick of this regurgitated nonsense. They can get over themselves. They are so full of themselves that their eyes are brown. Yes, their eyes are brown. So I've got one of these UK crappy Starbucks Frappuccinos. It's caramel, I think. Anyway, yeah, they're so full of themselves. So Lady Pandora says it's time for rebirth. Fire up the revolution. Oh my goodness. All right, let me just see what's going on. There's some comments and questions here I'm missing. I'll do it on the big screen. Okay. All right, so let me go back a little bit here. Oh, the MTN story. Yeah, I'm holding off on that one. I'm gonna do something. Neil was not on a Sunday show. Yeah, okay. Good evening. Ricky says Ronaldo's doing a great job on the Sunday show. Well, I don't know who Ronaldo is there, Ricky. I mean, with a person named like Huz, you ought to be able to spell his name correctly. It's Ronaldo. No, Neil is not okay, Valerie. Things are very, very, very dicey for Neil. Retha Milan, hello to you. Johanna Gillespie. Good evening, Martin Williams Bernard. Apparently, okay. Ramaphosa can't block the refugee program, Sandra. What are you talking about? He can't block it. It's U.S. law. So how does South Africa block U.S. law? How does South Africa block? They can't. They can't. They can't. Where you guys get this nonsense? Who cooks these fantasies up? Sandra, who told you that nonsense? Okay. Hey, Lynn, what's going on? We're smiling because you look relaxed. No one's asking questions again. Yeah, well, that happens. Glad to know the rugby's been enjoyable. Yeah, Graham, it's been nice. Although I got cooked in the sun today a little bit. You know, I'm kind of pink. It's not good for me. ANC who? I like that. I sent link on All About Africa mail about MTN Ramaphosa in deep trouble. Thank you, Darlene. I haven't checked any mail today. I haven't checked any WhatsApp today. I've just been driving, walking, watching rugby, walking, driving, and then sitting down, setting the stream up. So next stop for National Guard is San Francisco, United States. I don't know how that's going to happen, Philip. That's going to require some delicate balancing from the president. He has some authority, but it's not unilateral. 1st of October is around the corner. Isn't that the start of the new financial? It's new fiscal year. That's correct. Cobus van Staden. The new fiscal year begins 1 October. Well, it's not just MTM. It's indeed Pikimchi. It's also Cyril Ramaphosa and Nkabisi Jonas. Yep. Miss News, goodness, I'm so irritable. I need my dose of morning. Sorry about this, Marie. Well, we're doing some news tonight. No, Ramaphosa can't stop the refugee program. He has no authority over the U.S. government. We're a sovereign state. Milan, Colonel, have you been going to Burning Man? Burning Man? No, I haven't. Thank you for the 70 Rand super chat. Both the ANC will be in for a shock. Yes, Hendo, I agree. I think that's a fantasy poll. I don't doubt that the ANC is below 30%, but I doubt that the DA is at 28%. About the blocking of his program, you referred to, Sandra, 10 minutes with, and other people have small videos on YouTube about. Okay, I don't know what the videos are about, Vincent Fogel. Someone's going to have to fill me in. Ramaphosa has no sovereignty over the United States. He cannot block anything. He can shove it up his rectum. He cannot block anything. Now, that doesn't mean South Africans can't block people from leaving the country. They have a sovereign state. They can keep people from leaving the country, but they can't stop anybody. Okay, well, you guys quit telling me who had it. Tell me what was said. Please tell me what was said, because you keep going on about this video or these videos about this. There's a lot of people right now spreading bullshit all over the internet. South African content creators. And I've about had my fill of it. I haven't called any of them out, but there's 3 content creators in particular that are spreading pure bullshit on YouTube from South Africa. 3 of them. And I'm not calling any of them out right now. And one of them's feeling to be seriously hurt if I called him out. But they're spreading complete bullshit. Some sensationalist, clickbait headlines, clickbait bullshit stories, making claims that they have no access to information. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't understand U.S. law. They don't understand what's going on. 3 of them. And so please tell me exactly what we're talking about here. Okay. All right. Mr. Rabbit is back home, Yanni. I didn't bring him so I wouldn't lose him. But I've got his friend. His friend came with me. I picked up... Where's he at? Here he is. He's got a buddy now. So I was in Windermere, and I picked up Peter Rabbit. Peter Rabbit is the Bugger Off Bunny's friends. I don't know what you're talking about. You can only use YouTube in the country it was registered in. What are you talking about? It doesn't make any sense. A lot of people pissed at ANC. Will YouTube's new terms, where are these new terms? Where are these terms been published at? I haven't seen anything about YouTube's terms. There's no mention of it on the channel. YouTube doesn't have, what kind of nonsense is that? You saw a video from Sama. What did the video say? The ANC can sue Trump all they want over the refugee program. What? They have no standing. The African National Congress has no standing under the U.S. immigration nationality law, so they can just shove it. What is this new YouTube now? I'm curious, Simon. It's about the visas of Kenyans being rejected, so they assume the ANC is trying to block. Okay, guys, we don't need the Kenyans in South Africa to process refugees. Would people please listen to me? I've said this 1,000 times already. The Kenyans don't need to be there. I can process refugees from sitting here in England. It's just screening. You don't have to be there to do it. There has to be Americans on the ground to interview those people, but those people have diplomatic passports and visas. So that the only way they stop this is if they impose a moratorium on diplomatic visas and ban the U.S. from sending U.S. personnel. That's how they can do it. Now, I know you're watching ANC, so don't run off and get some ideas here. Guys, it doesn't matter where the Kenyans are at. Stop with the nonsense. This hysteria is really irritating. Really irritating that people spread these rumors around, don't know what the hell they're talking about. Thank you for sharing with me, though. Yep, Caroline Beatrice Potter. That's right. Those content creators are riding the refugee wave. Yeah, well, they're riding the bullshit wave, Chris Wyatt. That's what they're doing. And because I'm not lying, I'm getting fewer views. The liars are getting views. Yeah, he's pretty cute, huh? You like Peter Rabbit? There he is. There he is. Bugger Off Bunny's new friend. Yep. You're right, Lynette. They're using the visa story to twist it for views. I'm going to have to make a video on that tonight. I will make a video on that because my videos are doing nothing. I don't know if it's because I'm in the UK or because I'm getting shot at me. But we did see that. I took a screen capture of when I was in York and YouTube blocked me from watching my own video. It said it was restricted. Then it said there was no chat option. Remember that? Okay, now you guys give me some information I can use here. The cat is away. Yeah, well, the cat is away. The mice will play. Yeah. Simon, I'm curious about what you're talking about these new standards. Okay. They force you to agree to them. Okay. Is it for new accounts, Simon? Thank you for sharing that. I'll have to look into it. Government might only be blocking the visas of people who are assisting U.S. in coming south. Right, Amanda. That may be what they're doing. Kenyans are, there's lots of Kenyans there, you're right, Ian, but they're not working for the program. These are delayed for people that apply for USA. Okay, Darlene. Visas for people going to USA are coming from the U.S. Embassy, not South African government. So that has nothing to do with South African government. What's your take on the allocations? What's allocation? You mean allocations? Sandra, are you talking about the visa cap? Is that what you're, or not, the refugee cap? I did a video on that. It's on the channel. Guys, you have to watch the content. I explained all this. There's a video on there. Can one of the mods put the link up for the video? I can't do that. I suppose I could, but it'll be a distraction here. Can one of the mods put the link up for the video? In fact, you know what? Maybe I can find it very quickly here. Videos. I did that days ago. Okay, Malema, racism in action. Paul Mashtili, Big Bunny. Do not panic over. You're on YouTube. I think this is it. Do not panic over proposed cap. Yeah, there it is right there. I found it. Okay. So that thing only has 17,000 views. I did over a week ago. So I appreciate you asking me for my view, but I've covered this over a week ago. This is what's so frustrating on YouTube. I put lots of time and effort into producing videos, and then they don't get promoted to people. They don't see them and they don't know about them. And then they ask questions about them. So there's what you want to go watch. You want to go watch that video. Now see, I just posted that 3 times. I only see it posted twice on there. Here, try it again. And I'll pin that at the top. Oops, where'd it go? Okay. Okay, where am I at here? Catching up now. Mass protests in Iran. I didn't see that Janine scenes. I've been on the road all day. So October 1st, October could be. The open door is already open, Coast. What are you talking about? Could be October 1st. It's already open. Is Flushing in Spain? I didn't know that. What am I drinking? This is a Starbucks. It's the Sunshine Summer Edition. It's toffee flavor and honey. It's actually not that bad. It's from Starbucks. It's these are a little bit smaller than the ones in the U.S. and more pricey, a lot pricier. Sole Sono, what's time for reset? You are not allowed to use all caps, my friend. Not allowed to use all caps. Please do not use all caps. Only Hendo gets to use all caps, my moderator. Okay. Hip is okay, Yolandi. Thank you. Peter Liebenberg, we got the magic call on Friday. Cool. Congratulations, Peter, if that's what you're looking for. Is Hakan in here? He didn't give the time. I missed it. Thank you, Milan, for the super chat. Vincent Fogel, evening, about the blocking refugee programs you referred to on Sunday, 10 minutes. Small videos, okay. Sounds good, Colonel. Take a break from this crazy people on social media. I'm not taking a break. I've been making lots of videos. Guys, since I've been here, I have produced in the time I've been here, I got here. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've done 9 prepared videos in less than a week. Plus, I've done a few live streams. So let's go see how many live streams I've done since I got here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is my 7th live stream and 9. So I don't get where people think I've disappeared. I've been here. I've been working my tail off. Your friend, young African bloke, he is very funny. He reckons Ron Pose is pissed and embarrassed. That's why we stopped the visas. I don't know anything about that. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Chris Wyatt. Anybody believes that Ramaphosa can bully President Trump is dreaming. Yeah, Danielle, I know the notifications aren't working. Can't control YouTube. 10 minutes with Kool-Aid. I don't know Kool-Aid. Someone the Samba. I gave him his first ever interview. I did his first ever interview, but Kool-Aid, I've never interviewed him. People talking nonsense. Okay. Nancy wants to sue Trump. They can sue him all he wants. Okay. The cat is away, the mice play. I don't bother myself too much with other content. Take pencil. Thank you much, Sue Marie. Appreciate that. Marceline, how you doing there? Little British rabbit. They forced me to greet him. The government might be only blocking visas. Okay, I'm catching back up where I was. Yeah, suing Trump. That's funny. Why not? Everyone else is. You want am I taking allocations? Okay, well, there are no allocations unless you're talking about the proposed cap. Well, 75% goes to South Africa, one country. That's pretty impressive. Exactly, Shimmery. People are freaking about nothing. Yep. Yeah, well, the visas are a different story, folks. Oh, thank you, Francis Russ. Appreciate that. Oops, something jumped on me here. Let me go back. Okay. I have a ton of bugger up bunnies. Maybe. Question the fact that show does not like the people who want to make use of the program. Okay. If the crooks are watching, then how do you know who's in the group WhatsApp chats? Well, Brondachar, yeah, there's always a risk when you use social media. So, I mean, you can't control that completely. Yes, there is no promotion of my content. By the way, there's a new thing, folks, out there that you guys do. You can promote my content. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but there's a way to promote my content. You get to like 3 creators, you can promote their content, and it's really cool. So if a bunch of people did that, maybe it'll work. Okay, but it's for any content creator that has under 500,000 subscribers, you can do it with. Okay, Samba made a video about it. Okay. Creating confusion all over again. Peter Rabbit has nice big feet to give a big kick to the butt. You the mail as soon as I find your mail. Okay, Simon. Thank you for that. If one of the mods could put the email address on there, I'd appreciate that. Well, the Kenyans aren't going to work for free. No way. Hey, Skull Loops, what's on? Post it in the group. Okay, guys, I post things in 15 different groups in WhatsApp and between WhatsApp and Telegram. So when you say post in the group, that doesn't help me. It wouldn't have been posted in one of my groups because you can't, my refugee groups, because you can't post there. Everyone is complaining the refugee program is moving slowly. Remember that no money has been allocated when the new fiscal year begins. Budget, okay, then it'll speed up. Yep. Okay. Okay, people want you to be the refugee guy. Now you accepted that role. So now all I have to do is listen. Lynette, I don't know. Have I accepted the role as a refugee guy? I know that Rebecca Davis called me the towering figure in the refugee movement. I didn't know that I was that. I thought that was interesting. I always go on your video list, the channel, and make sure I don't miss any videos. Thank you, Anime. I appreciate that. Okay, not everybody does that. So now all they have to do is listen and not believe everything that people post. Alan hasn't missed a video. Thank you. Some of you guys are really, really super reliable here. But here's the thing. Look at this. I have 317. I know it's Sunday night. I know it's later. It's 9:30 South African time, so it's past some people's bedtimes. I get that. But still, even when I do something like this, I usually get 500 or more. But yeah, we're down from 1,300 people per stream to just 200 or 300, which is a little just depressing. But I love having 300 people here. You guys are awesome. Yeah, I know, Loretta. They're hiding a lot of my videos. You got to go to the channel. United Nations Refugee Center office and furniture is going to auction in Pretoria East this week. Maybe it will be used for refugee program. The National Dialogue, Valerie, it's a joke, and it's going very poorly, which is how I expect it to go. It's good to see that people are seeing it go badly, so that's good to see. Well, I jumped across to Germany. No, I'm not going to Germany this trip. I thought about flying over to the Netherlands if I got some time, but I haven't done that yet. Yep, so I haven't done it yet. Yeah, the National Dialogue is a monologue, all right. Someone in the NC did some math, probably saw the billions of rands tax. Yeah, exactly. I can't sit on who run the show. They killed Seth by themselves. Yeah, they killed Seth all by themselves. They didn't get any help. Thanks for sending the cap video again. Unfortunately, now is the first. Oh, you're welcome, Tony. Because it was hidden. See, I know that my videos are hidden. There's no way that I make a video explaining a critical issue that's timely about the Refugee program and only 17,000 people watch it. There's just no way that that's the case. There's just no way. I mean, that's a video with the interest for this program that should have generated 100, 150,000 views. Clearly, it's being hidden. But, you know, it's nothing I can do about it, guys, until somebody offers me a gig. This is what we have. This is what we have. Is Ronaldo on now? USA Minion to be 70 Rand. Thank you for that. Wow, 70 Rand. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. Don't have my bell with me. Ronaldo is on now. Why is Ronaldo on now when I'm on? I intentionally waited until after Ronaldo's stream. I didn't do this to interfere with Ronaldo. I made sure that I didn't interfere with Ronaldo's broadcast, and now he's on at the time I'm on. I came on late. I came on a whole hour and a half late. I could have broadcast at 7 p.m. South Africa time, and I waited. Anyway. Okay. Hano Cop says, hope you're doing well. I'll send you private message with regards to one of the videos that is not completely. One of the videos you did that is not completely accurate, but cannot discuss here. Okay, Hano. Thank you for your discretion. I guess you're correcting me on something. Interesting. We all make mistakes. I'd be curious to see about that. How are you sending me a private message? Telegram, WhatsApp? Hano, please let me know so I know to look out for it, okay? Otherwise, I don't want you to think I'm ignoring it. Okay, what else you got there? So, okay. National Dog is not going. They can't save it. Okay, they killed. Okay. LBR, what's going on? How you doing? Okay. Keep an eye for the whole day. Look out for women's. Look at the women's will get worked out. You should be at. Yeah, well, you guessed right, Simmery. Yep, you guessed right. Yeah, no. Sometimes it's I'm not too far from the game. Sometimes a little further away. My next games are back up in New York, so I've got to find a place in between, you know, Northampton and there, you know, and hang out. There's the email address. Chris wanted to put it up an hour for everyone asking questions. Well, thank you, Darlene. I appreciate that. Thank you, Francis Rose. And thank you, Helen of Troy, for promoting me. Ronaldo is in Cape Town. Why does everybody keep spelling his name wrong? Started 40 seconds ago. Yes, usually I get your videos first, and today I just didn't pop up anywhere. Really, TJ? That's interesting. You're one of the few people who gets it first. Have a single stream video. Chris, admittedly, some are a bit fuzzy due to the fermented grape juice. Russell Holton Smith with 140 Rand super chat. Thank you. Hercules. Helen does not like Ronaldo all that much. No, that's fine. You can like whoever you like. Make sure I never miss a video. Thank you, guys. Russell, thank you for that. Even though you've got an All Blacks symbol there, we'll still thank you for it. Okay. And guys, if you're wondering why I'm wearing the glasses a lot, it's because I don't have my big screens, and so the text is very tiny. And with my floater, I need the reading glasses now, so a little frustrating. So, Primal Boar's back. Hope you're enjoying I saw the issues you had with the live streams. No, I don't think it was UK. I don't think it was UK, and I've done nothing to run afoul of the UK. I just think it's YouTube playing games. Thank you, Esmarie. It's a name. I don't care how people spell mine. Okay. Yeah. So, but it was definitely. I showed you guys on the screen that wasn't made up. I didn't. I mean, I couldn't even watch my own stream, and on the phone it wasn't showing me the chat. That could have been hiccup. That could have been a software issue. That could have been a server issue. I'd never had that before. I've been broadcasting for years, never seen it before. So, but it could happen. But the fact that when I went on my other phone, I tried to watch and said it was restricted. That shows it's bullshit. I don't want corrective eye surgery because once you have it, and you're screwed because your eyes will still fade again. Yeah, cock tube shenanigans. Well, it clearly is. I'm not here to whine about the viewing. You guys are the ones talking about it, but it is definitely true. I mean, here, I'll just give you an idea. Let me look at my videos. So my Babita de Quran video, 3,000 views. Are you freaking kidding me? 3,000 views. 3,300 views. That's insane. The peak in 1 hour was 388. What the hell? What the hell? And that was this morning. That's insane. Nobody cares about Babita de Quran. That's insane. Very timely subject. The Women's Rugby World Cup, 1,175. Not many people cared about that. I didn't expect many people to do that. Anyway, yeah, so, and then the Starlink coming to South Africa, 9,000 views. Then U.S. versus South African Human Rights Report, 27,000 views. Malema, 38,000 views. Racism and Schwane, 32,000 views. News 24, there's Apology of Ronaldo, 12,000 views. Paul Mashvili, 21,000 views. Big Money in Politics, 20,000 views. South Africa, Don't Panic, that was only 17,000 views. The last one I've had any decent views on was Pemi Mojodina, the Rain Queen. I did that on August 15th, and 9 days ago I got 59,000 views on that. Yeah, I haven't had a 100,000 view video in, wow, quite a while now. I used to get them every day. And so my last 100,000 view video, not even, if you guys could go here, this would be very helpful. So let me say, this video has not hit 100,000. I'm 112 away from 100,000. So if 112 of you haven't seen this video, if you could open up that tab and go there and give me a view on it, I'd really appreciate it. It pushed me over 100,000 that video. This one's from a while ago. If you don't mind, you don't have to watch the whole thing. Just let it play for a few moments so I get a credit for it. Yeah, that's the sanctions thing. I got 99,888 views. It's been stuck for weeks. That's from July 23rd. That's a month ago. I need 112 to get to 100,000. I haven't had 100,000 since, let's see, my last 100,000 video. Wow, it's going back quite a ways. Still going. Oh, my last 100,000 video was July 7th. Wow. I used to get them every day. I would do 100,000 views. Last one was July 7th. That's quite a drought. Anyway, you never know what the deal is. Anyway, so the lives do well, though, folks. I mean, we're very happy with the lives. The one I did, last one I did 3,000, 3,000 for that, 2,800, 3,000. These are all here. 3,900, 6,700. So all those don't have been here. Before I left, 5,200, 5,400, 9,400, 4,600, 6,000, 20,300. About the Kenyans, yeah. So those are pretty good. Those I can live with. But the viewership is really, it's down. I just had the worst day I've had this year. Just 29,000 views yesterday. Only 29,000 views on the channel yesterday. That's the worst day I've had the entire year. Yep. And it's not because I'm not producing videos, because they're hiding them. You guys keep saying you're not finding the videos. Obviously, they're hiding my videos. Not telling people about it. So, whatever. I don't know what to tell you. I'm covering this stuff. I'm covering it timely. It just isn't being promoted. So, yeah. I have an 88 and 81,000 and a 67 and 59,000 this month. My top 10 videos in the past month all have over 41,000 views. So, that's not too bad. Anyway, 299. Some people left. I guess I got tired of the moaning. How do views compare to the time you spend watching other content? I know TikTok algorithm promotes the channel more. I don't watch much content at all, anime. I don't have time for it. I'm busy with everything else. Thank you, Skulk. Appreciate you preferring my content. Make a refugee video. Napoleon, it won't. I'm going to make a refugee video when I'm done here, and it won't hit 100,000. I'll bet you I'll make a refugee video tonight. I publish it tonight, and it will get 15,000 max. You want to make a bet on that, Napoleon? Make a bet. Let's shake hands. Okay. Goldfish moment, 1 million views. I never had that, PT Brits. I've had 500,000. Yeah, Babita De Caron, a heroine, a true heroine, a hero, and she should be celebrated as that and remembered. Never forget her. Darlene, thank you for the 70 rand super chat. It's very kind of you. Oh, I didn't even look at revenue for the month. Let me look at revenue. That's probably sad to see too. Analytics is what I want. Analytics or revenue. Let's see. Oh yeah. I'm only at where's 1 week left here, and I only have 60% of what I got last month, which was only 60% of the previous month, which was only 60% of the previous month. I am only at 1/3 of the revenue I generated in May. So 1/3 of the revenue I generated in May. So obviously I don't do this for the money, because if I did, I'd be starving. That's for damn sure. Anyway. Yeah, Valerie, they're hiding my stuff. Oops, sorry, Chris, what's this? Live streams like a soapy. Okay. Visas being right. Yeah, I've heard that, but I mean, where are you guys hearing this? I've not seen any news report anywhere. So 20 years degeneration it takes in your eyes, and remember, your eyes naturally weakens anyway as you grow older. Okay, Philip, I'm listening. Lots of fear mongering going on. It's disrespectful and cruel, especially one who thinks their life is under a microscope and wonders if their statement of interest did not go through. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Make a refugee video. See, okay, all right, okay. Missing loads of your videos. We were up in the mountains in Mahalisburg. Bad Wi-Fi. Oh, okay, Ian. Yeah, well, enjoy the Mahalisburg, man. I love Mahalisburg. People are tired of politics. Yeah, but Philip, they don't care about other things. I do videos on lots of things, not just on politics, and none of them are doing well right now. Prime Boris back, okay. Dylan says, I'm truly hands-on. I am. I do try to be hands-on. I have a little faith kernel. 100,000 is easy tonight. Says Philip. Okay. I'm subscribed and on the bell, and on the last few weeks, only find a video perhaps. Exactly, Francis. Exactly. See, that's not how it's supposed to be working. 12 videos in the last 10 days is what shows up my side. Actually, that's not accurate. As I said, I did what? 9 prepared videos, and I did what? Let's do that again. Count it again. Maybe I misspoke. Okay, it was content. In not 7 days since I arrived here. I'm just talking about. I arrived on Monday. I landed on Monday. So the 19th, whenever it was, 19th. So 19th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 prepared videos, and I think I did a short too. And then live since the 19th, I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 7. That's 16 videos. So if you got 12 notifications, you're short. Plus, on shorts, I did 1 short. So that's 18 videos I've done since I got here. 18 videos. I've been here a week. 18 videos. So it's not like I'm not making content, guys. Hiding your views behind the paywall, well, PT Brits, there's nothing behind a paywall. Not one of my videos is behind a paywall. Nope. Not a single one. Levon Carey, what's up, man? Thank you for watching that for a few minutes, Levon. I appreciate that. Trying to push it to 100,000. Yeah, that's it's definitely shadow banning, Daniel. You're right. It does. I mean, guys, if it wasn't for shadow banning, this channel would have 5,750,000 subscribers easy, maybe 1 million or more. I mean, the stuff I cover, the number of times I'm right, vice the few times I'm incorrect. The calm, accurate, objective way that I discuss things, the number of topics that I cover. There aren't many content creators, and it's true. There aren't many content creators that take the approach that I take. It's unusual, and it's eclectic, and it's popular with a lot of people. But people aren't discovering. I mean, look at me just because of the refugee thing, because I covered that, and then like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I found your channel. I wish I known about this sooner. Yep. You're welcome, Roche. TJ Potgita says, do you know about the investment program to get to the USA? A friend told me there's some type. Yeah, there is. It's not a stupid question. It's not a stupid question. Thank you for the 7 rand. Appreciate that. Yeah, exactly. Kind of easily over 600,000 by now. That's where it should be. But no, of course there is. There's always been investment way to come to America, but you have to have millions of dollars. I think the minimal investment now, Trump is like you have to have $500,000, $800,000 or something like that. But Trump's got the platinum plan or the golden plan or diamond plan, something like that. You invest $5 million, but they claim that a lot of people have applied for it, but I don't know the status of it. But there are those programs. If you invest in the U.S., you can come over here with get permanent residency. Do you enjoy your stay in the UK? Some things about it I enjoy, Madeline. Some other things I don't like. I have not been able to find a single moment of privacy because there's people everywhere in this country. Will the program speed up the 1st of October? Denny, Nadia, I don't know. We suspect it will, but no one has any evidence of that. But I suspect it will. You're welcome, Rush. Conrad, attack update. Ambulance has just left taking the victim's hospital. It's been 2 hours since the attack. Waiting for police to arrive. Good Lord. Create a new YouTube profile so that I can just follow your channel on that one. I really help to get your videos. Okay. Thank you, Primal Boar. That's interesting. Rikas Fundamental. Curious question. Does anyone know if the first contact us in order receipt? No, it's not an order receipt, Rikas. We know that's not the case because I've seen evidence of people who submit things after those who went before. There's no rhyme or reason to it. No one knows the answer. Anyone that claims to know the answer, unless they work for the State Department, is lying to you. Okay? Yeah, it's not an order. He submitted his at 6:34 in the morning, the 12th of May. How could you do it at 6:34 on the 12th of May? It wasn't even published until 9 o'clock, was it? Napoleon? Was it published at 6:04? I don't think so. Yeah, Lennox said definitely didn't even see the 9 videos. So they must be hiding them. Yeah, you guys go to the channel and look up videos, okay? Yeah, that's the thing. If you go to a channel, let me go to my channel. Your channel. And I think this is how you find them. So go to my channel, and then you're going to go to videos. And under videos, it should list, yeah, there you go. The videos, it lists them in order, which ones. So yeah, just go to channel, and then click on the videos. Second button from the left, and it will list all of them. You can go back and see which ones you missed. Yep, so 19 hours ago, 21 hours ago, 2 days ago, 2 days ago, and then you can just slide over to the right. Yep. You see that? And then 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 3 days ago, 4 days ago, 4 days ago, 8 days ago. That was before I left. Yep. So, yep, that's easy. But, I appreciate you guys looking for the stuff content, but that's how you have to find the stuff because they're obviously not sending notifications. I really understand why your videos not get more views as the most relevant source to refugee program as well as anything going on. Because I'm being hidden. So I'm being hidden because I'm in the UK. I'm being hidden and not because of the UK, because of YouTube. I'm being hidden because it's YouTube. Look, guys, it's true. I mean, it's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I see other people putting bullshit out there and it's getting attention. So I can make some sensationalist, but I'm not going to lie to you. I don't lie. Other people have no compunction against lying or misstating things, and they don't really care if they're proven wrong. I don't like to be proven wrong. That's why I'm curious about the message that came earlier. Ooh, Loretta, small token of thanks for being you. Miss Night Owls, also Miss DJ Silver Eagle, but you deserve a break. I'm not on a break. I just give me an idea and I'll go to Suno and make a song. Okay. Bad, yeah, exactly. Primary, exactly. All people say I'm a CIA agent. Then why do I have so few views? Exactly. Good night, Ian. Take care. 4 o'clock. Yeah. Okay. Be careful. 6:30. Okay. All right. I take your word for it, Napoleon. Okay. Yes. Uruguay, Mauritius, Argentina, and Malta. Malta also has one, but that's changing. And you can also go to St. Nevis and Kitts. You can also go to Curacao. What's the geez, in the Caribbean? It's another one of those 2 islands. Anyway, yeah, there's lots of them out there, but I wouldn't want to live in most of those places. Hope you're doing well. It's my birthday, so I was hoping for a birthday present to call this month. Oh, Neff. Happy birthday to Neff. I can't show you the cake because I'm not using streaming software. I'm going off my mobile. So happy birthday to you. Here's a birthday cake. Okay. Enjoy your cake. Sorry about that. Go to the page. Okay, Napoleon. I said I trust you, man. I'm not going to go to the page. Good, reliable contacts inside the State Department. I have good, reliable contacts inside the State Department, Philip Holtz. Remember, I used to work with him. Yep. Thank you, Simon. I assume you sent it by email. Okay, there's a birthday cake. Darlene gave you a birthday cake. Okay, cool. All right, so there were more stories I want to talk about here. Let me get to the nugget from the chat. Springboks 10 tries, amazing stuff. Nelady Pondor, Jabba the Hutt, saying the ANC is falling. No doubt. Paul Machatile, GPF takes his son-in-law to court for $12.6 million loan. The Hauteng Partnership Fund has filed a court application to recover money owed to it by Ngbe Onquelo, $12.6 million from his company, Onquelo Investments. Total value of the loans granted to him between 2013 and 2017 was $37 million, but only $7 million was ever paid out. Okay, so I don't understand. Anyway, they're suing him. Yep. Okay, and the ANC crashes below 30%. If you believe that, I believe that. But the DA at 28% under John Steenhuisen, I'm not buying that for a second. Not buying that for a second. I don't know about Zelensky and Putin. We'll see. Good night, Val. Helen's still waiting. Okay. You're welcome, Neff. It's my pleasure. And everyone for wishing you a happy birthday. Sorry I don't have the purple cake to show you. Can you please give your contact in the State Department our names to highlight, please? That's going to take some super chat money and some viewership. Ukraine pulled out new drones. I'm not surprised. They don't want peace. Yeah, no, Brent, sure. Trump is doing it without brokers. You don't need to go through brokers for the Trump program. Yeah, but you got to be wealthy for it. So you got to be richy rich to take part in those things. Got to be richy rich. Anyway, so where was that here? ANC. Oh yeah, so here's an op-ed from Savius Quinica on the IOL. Hey, Tinky Kaiser, thank you for the 20 rand super chat. Thank you very much. How much of a super chat, says Loretta? 1 billion rand. Super catch can be arranged KFC money. No, I don't want any KFC money. No, thank you for the KFC money. I'll pass. 800,000 minimum for investment green card. Yeah, that's what didn't I say that? 5 or 800,000 is what I said. So it must be 800,000. Okay, so Mandela's voice beyond the grave. Why South Africa must resist U.S. pressure in Iran. Listen to this nonsense. If Nelson Mandela were alive today, he would have offered a sharp, unambiguous response to the United States' latest attempt to pressure South Africa over its foreign policy. A recent diplomatic storm triggered by the visit of South African National Defense Force Chief General Rudzani Mabwana to Tehran shows just how little Washington has changed since the Cold War era, when it tried to dictate to smaller nations which friends they should have and which enemies they should adopt. You should be grateful that we did that, or you'd still have apartheid, you brainless wonder. Mandela's words ring true decades later. One of our mistakes, which some political analysts make, is to think their enemies should be our enemies. This statement, made during an interview in the 1990s, cuts through the noise of American arrogance. American arrogance. Back then, Washington could not understand why Mandela counted Fidel Castro, Yasser Arafat, and Muammar Gaddafi among his friends. Oh, we understood why, because all of them were terrorists. For the United States, these men were villains. Of course they were. They murdered innocent civilians. For Mandela's South Africa's liberation, they were allies to support the anti-apartheid struggle materially and morally, when Washington was still branding the ANC a terrorist organization, because it was a terrorist organization. Because it was the truth. You got a problem with that? The current episode feels like a replay of that history. Earlier this week, U.S. officials issued what can only be described as disrespectful demands, asking Pretoria. Okay, excuse me. So I'm sorry. Asking somebody something is not a demand. This moron. Who is this moron? A current episode feels like a replay of history. Earlier this week, U.S. officials issued what can only be described as a disrespectful demand, asking Pretoria to clarify its foreign policy towards Iran. The tone was patronizing. If South Africa were still a colony, South Africa does need supervision. The ANC does need supervision. They're not adults. They've destroyed the country. They've embarrassed South Africa. They've put it in on the verge of bankruptcy. It's insolvent. They're junk bond stage and have been for 7 years. They're gray listed for financial transactions. They're a terror financing hub. Yeah, so it does need supervision. Our attitude towards any country is determined by the attitude of that country to our struggle. Well, your struggle's over, morons. You won by default because people gave up and the Cold War ended courtesy of the United States. So you won. So there's no struggle. So shut up. Shut your cake holes. Only after apartheid crumbled did Washington suddenly find a place for Mandela and its pantheon of heroes. No, we didn't find a place for him as a hero. No. We just recognized his presence in South Africa. By contrast, leaders like Castro, Arafat, and Gaddafi gave tangible support to the liberation struggle. Terrorists, one and all. They provided training, funding, and refuge to South Africa so they could murder Innocent civilians. That's what Gaddafi, Arafat, and Arafat didn't give you succor. Arafat didn't have any territory. What are you talking about? Arafat didn't give anything. This is nonsense. Mandela never forgot this, and neither should South Africa. His position was not about ideology or political correctness. It was about loyalty and principle. Yeah, their principle is to support terrorists. Nowhere is Mandela's moral clarity more urgently needed than the ongoing genocide in Gaza. Israel's relentless bombardment, enabled by billions of dollars of U.S. weaponry, has killed more than 100,000 Palestinians, many of them children, women, and elderly. Yeah, and it was thoroughly unprovoked, right? I mean, there was no reason why it happened. Israel just one day decided to cross the border and start killing people. It's just there was nothing behind it. Nothing. There was no precipitating event, right? It just happened. Just these morons. Oh my goodness. Mandela foresaw this tragedy and declared, "We know too well that our freedom is incomplete without the freedom of Palestinians. The Palestinians are welcome to be free if they want to stop being terrorists. 2 million Palestinians live inside Israel. 2 million, peacefully. Carry Israeli passports, own property, go to businesses, serve in the IDF, serve in the courts, serve in the police, have their own businesses. They live perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Tell you, South Africa stands firmly with the Palestinian at the International Court of Justice. Oh, there is no Palestine in the International Court of Justice. It's not a state. It honors Mandela's legacy. Those who smear Pretoria as anti-Semitic miss the point. Opposing apartheid, whether in Pretoria or Tel Aviv, is not hatred, it's justice. Once again, what is happening in Israel is not apartheid. Arabs, Muslims, Druze, Christians, Coptic Christians, all own property, vote, serve in the military, serve in the courts, serve in the police, own businesses. They do everything. They have full citizenship rights. That is a lie. They're not segregated. People live in neighborhoods. Now, Jerusalem does have its Christian quarter and its Muslim quarter and its Druze quarter. That's true, but that is not because of Israel. That's because of millennia of development in that city. This guy is a moron. I'm going to have to look him up. What kind of moron is this guy? Okay, let me find Savius Quincanica. Never. What a lovely name there, buddy. It's hard to keep up with that. Let's see who this guy is. Probably some leftist. Is it Savius or Savior? Oh, he's setting journalism standards with perpetual lies. Oh, here he is. He's an African multiple award-winning journalist. Who gave you awards? The Terrorist of the Year? 830 followers. Editor-in-chief of CAG News. Center for African Journalists. University of Witwatersrand. 2006. Never heard of him. Never heard of him. But now I know who he is. He's a clown. He's a clown. Has no idea what he's talking about here. Wow, a leftist hate wanker, to say the least. My goodness. United States demand for clarification reeks of double standards. When Donald Trump invited Russian President Vladimir Putin for talks in Alaska, where was the global outcry? Global outcry? For what? Trying to end the war? What the hell's wrong with this guy? He wants the war to continue? Where were the demands for Washington to explain itself? Why would Washington have to explain itself for trying to negotiate peace? Did Sharon Post have to explain himself for going to Russia to negotiate peace? No one asked him for an explanation, right? Only a few months earlier, the same United States had threatened South Africa with sanctions if it failed to arrest Putin during the BRICS summit in Johannesburg. That's a lie. That's a lie. The United States never threatened South Africa with sanctions. This is a lying sack of horse manure. The United States never threatened. No, never threatened. And that was a different administration, you moron. Different administration, demon rat administration. Then there was no demand. No demand. These people are so disgraceful. They're so pathetic. They're such losers. They lie about everything. They lie about it. Just make shit up. This hypocrisy exposes Washington's selective morality. It lectures others on sovereignty, but violates international law. What international law have we violated? He doesn't mention one law we violate. Condemns others for alliances, but sells weapons regimes engaged in wars. What alliance? BRICS is not an alliance. It's an acronym, you dumbass. It's an acronym, not an alliance, you frickin' moron. Calls Mandela a hero in hindsight. No, I don't call him a hero. I call him a world figure. That's what I call here Mandela. Not a hero, just a world figure. Branded him a terrorist. Okay, this guy's a fucking moron. Nelson Mandela described himself as a terrorist. As a terrorist. Nelson Mandela described himself as a terrorist, and I've described him as a terrorist. He was a pugilist, a boxer. He was a traditional chief in his part of his little tiny Xhosa nation, the Eastern Cape. He was a barrister. He was a freedom fighter. He was a terrorist, self-described and convicted terrorist. He was president of South African Republic. He was all of those things. All of those things. And this moron has a problem with U.S. labeling terrorism. He called himself a terrorist. These people are so stupid. If South Africa were a mirror to Washington's behavior, it could just easily demand clarification from the United States about its arms shipments to Israel or its long history of coups and interventions across Latin America, Asia, and Africa. Well, we do have a long history of supporting coups in Latin America, but not in Asia or Africa. That's nonsense. Pretoria does not do so because it respects. Sorry, it doesn't respect sovereignty. I'm sorry, it doesn't respect sovereignty. You see, every day we have lying sacks of horse manure in the South African government going, the refugee program, and the fake stream media out calling the refugee. It's a refugee program. You don't respect our sovereignty. It's our law. You don't like it? Get over yourself. You don't respect us. So, bunch of nonsense. This guy is so full of it. I gotta save this page because this is too much fun, too hilarious. Too hilarious. And see, this is IOL. Just garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. The BRICS factor. Ooh, in a multipolar world. It already is a multipolar world, genius. There's also broader geopolitical context. South Africa and Iran are members of BRICS. Iran just became a member of BRICS. The emerging bloc countries seeking to reshape the global order. Good luck with that because it's full of a bunch of dictators. Let's see who's in BRICS. Brazil, dictator, felon, serving as president, stolen election. Putin, criminal, war criminal, stole elections. China, president for life, communist, socialist, world cheating scumbags. China. India. I don't want to pick on India. Brazil, already come. So, and South Africa, an illegitimate political party that doesn't even have majority, that rules the country as if they have majority and dismisses its coalition partners. Alongside Russia, Brazil, India, China, and South Africa, this grouping represents an alternative U.S.-dominated unipolar system that has prevailed since 1945. Unipolar system. Okay, what a dumbass. See, this is the problem with stupid people. Stupid people should wear signs. There was no unipolar system, you freaking moron. From 1945 until 1991, there was a bipolar world with a global south, led by India, but a bipolar world. The East Bloc and NATO was a bipolar world. The world was divided into two blocks, not a unipolar world. He says a unipolar system. It was not. It was a multipolar system, a bipolar system. And it's been a multipolar system since 1991. This is a stupid person given an ink. You should never give a pen to stupid people. Additionally, BRICS countries include Egypt, Ethiopia, Indonesia, Iran, and United Arab Emirates, move South Carolina ban. Yeah, these are all countries that have just joined this fake alliance that doesn't exist. It's not a treaty. It's just a bunch of cafe clutch. And by the way, Ethiopia, Egypt, Indonesia, these are all close U.S. allies, you moron. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. The global south is no longer content to be lectured by Washington. Nations are asserting their independence, building trade ties. Yay, you hate-wanking leftist losers. Oh my goodness, South Africa's engagement. I see the numbers have dropped from 300 to 259. All the leftists must have left because I've been hurting their feelings by attacking this clown. For Washington to demand clarification, didn't demand, ask. Didn't demand, ask. It's very different, dumbass. Yep. Moral consistency versus political convenience. What is most troubling is how few leaders today embody Mandela's moral consistency. Too many are afraid of offending powerful nations. Really? Afraid of offending powerful nations? South Africa offends the United States every damn week. Every time you turn around, they offend the United States. What are you talking about? Stupid people. When criticized for his friendships with controversial figures, he responded simply, they supported us when we needed them. Why should we turn our backs on them now? Well, I'm not going to go there. A message to Washington. The United States must be reminded that South Africa is not a client state. No, we don't want you to be a client state. No, we have no interest in having a leftist, hate-wanking nation led by a leftist kleptocracy, is being our client state. Idiots. It's a sovereign nation with its own history, struggles, and alliances. You don't have any alliances. You have no treaty alliances. South Africa is not a single treaty alliance. See, this guy's a moron. What treaty alliance do they have? Where's the treaty alliance? There's not a single treaty. You're not signatory to any treaty that makes you an alliance partner. What is it? What treaty? There's no BRICS alliance. There's no military alliance there. There is nothing. U.S. should focus on addressing its own challenges, mass shootings, racial injustice, economic equality, rather than policing the choice of others. All right, mass shootings. Well, you're one to talk. South Africa has more mass shootings per capita than the United States, so let's just go with that. So let's talk about that. Racial injustice. South Africa is a classic case of racial injustice. Black, now white, and colored in India. And economic inequality. There will always be economic inequality, you dumbass. That's the nature of life. Under the Soviet Union, there was economic inequality. In communist China, there's massive economic inequality. There's still 500,000 people living in abject poverty in the Chinese paradise today. It's stupid stuff. So you can shove it where your sun don't shine, buddy. World has changed. The new multipolar order is emerging. Well, dude, you are 30 years too late. 35 to be exact. 34. The new multipolar world emerged after the Berlin Wall fell, you dumbass. Not now. People should wear signs, man. They should wear signs. They really should wear signs. Wow. I'm glad I went through that op-ed. I hope you guys didn't mind me going off on that clown because he's a dummy. He's a dummy. He's a dummy. I'll use Trump's vernacular. He's a dummy. Hey, Tinky, thank you for the super chat. Yeah, it's US dollars for that investment thing. You have to have US dollars. I want us to have him from USA here who says he's to help to get the Cape Province breakaway for the rest of that. Someone from his team is already helping. I don't know anything about that, Belinda. I know nothing about that. I've not heard that story. Never heard of it. 680 innocent civilian deaths. Congratulations. Exactly, Garrett. Exactly. Innocent civilians killed. Terrorist. Colonel, even other African countries are getting tired of the ANC. Oh, they are. Oh, they are, guys. Listen, when I lived in Botswana, I would talk to BDF officers, senior officers, and they would laugh about the ANC when they always talk about the liberation struggle and how, oh, my laptop just fan started blowing, how they were such great heroes of liberation. They laughed. They said, these guys weren't heroes. They were lazy little shiftabouts who did nothing. They ran across the border and tried to drag us into the war with the South African Defense Forces, which we had no interest in being part of in Botswana. Yeah, they laugh at them. And the African Union. Virtually every party I went to, people always talk about how arrogant the South Africans were. When I was in Zambia, the Zambians were, irritated. The only saving grace for them is their defense attaché, whom they loved. His name was Barney. They loved that guy. But other than that, they couldn't stand the South African diplomatic corps. They were arrogant. They were opinionated. And in Ethiopia, nobody hung out with them. Nobody hung out with them. The million option, 5 million. That's the gold card. The 5 million gold card. That's right, and they named the roads after ANC bombers who murdered civilians. It's not a bit steep. 800,000 is nothing, man. $1 million is nothing for an investment. That's nothing. Conrad Cockcroft, thanks for all your news. You're welcome. Thank you for watching from the West Coast. Yep. Countries are starting to impose sanctions. Banana award at mainstream media. They just make shit up. Well said. Thank you, Philip. Yep. He was a terrorist, exactly. Recycling bottles has been proven to be particularly futile. Paper is even worse. The amount of energy it takes to transport these things, there's not much savings. It's great that you don't put in landfill, but there's not much savings. Read a lot of world history. Each country is absolutely enlightened to know the truth, especially in Israel. God's chosen land as people. People should take that time to learn exactly. Should learn history. Just imagine Marco Rubio watching Mabulula talking about Afrikaners as car guards. Marco probably laughing himself too. Exactly. They needed Mandela to be the face of the movement. Yep. Never give a detonator to stupid people. Exactly. That guy really needs this. Yeah, he needs a sign, Lorette. Yep. Yep, thank you, Philip. U.S. unemployment at 4% and South Africa's 40%. Unemployment for Black Americans, let's take a look at that. Unemployed in America. Okay, unemployment rate for blacks in America is 6%. 6%. In South Africa, 6%. It's in South Africa. It's 38.6%. You have 32% more of your population in unemployment than we do, and so they're going to run their mouth about this. They're going to run their mouth. They don't know what they're talking about. Racial injustice. What a bunch of nonsense. Economic progress. Let's look at per capita income of Black people in South Africa. Per capita income of Black people in South Africa. Righto, let's see what that is. It doesn't want to tell me. It doesn't want to tell me. They only give me 2015. They give me old data, so. Why am I not getting World Bank and IMF information on this? Hmm. Anyway, I guarantee it's a lot higher in the U.S. for blacks than it is for blacks in South Africa. No, I know the unemployment's much higher than that. That's the official figure. It's very conservative. I think it's more like 60%, and it's rising. You're welcome, Milan. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Thanks for the super chat earlier. Rub your hands. Yes, the clouds are gathering. Clouds are gathering. Clouds are gathering. Clouds are gathering. You're welcome, Thing of Nouns. Thank you for 21 rand. All those numbers and figures are cooked by NC anyway. Recycling is about transport and separation. It's hogwash if you look at the back box energy. Exactly, Garrett. Exactly. Exactly. Clouds are gathering. Clouds are gathering. Clouds are gathering. Tata, tata, clouds are gathering, tata, tata. Did you see the one of the ANC member who consulted the Sangoma rolling the bones and make a decision on political decisions? It wasn't a guy, it was a woman, man. Clouds are gathering, clouds are gathering. Bugger off bunny, no doubt. Oh my goodness. All right, where are we at here? So, damning report on suspended SA Tourism CEO Nombuelo Gulele. Tourism Minister Patricia Little denies shielding Gulele from accountability. A report has surfaced containing findings made by a previous board of South African tourism, which concludes that the recently suspended CEO is grossly unsuitable for the job. Surprise, surprise, she's a diversity hire. The chair and deputy of the board who compiled the September 2024 report were fired by Tourism Minister Patricia Little shortly after communicating their findings. So Tani Pat fired the people who tried to sack this incompetent, grossly unqualified CEO. So Tani Pat is corrupt as well. Surprise, surprise. This past week, she dissolved the current board after it placed her on a precautionary suspension from being part of a team that authorized an unlawful $4 million in prepayment to a supplier who never did the work. So the grossly incompetent CEO authorized 4 million rand to someone who never did the work. She was supposed to be suspended based on a report by the people who investigated her last year. They were fired by Tani Pat, and now the board has been suspended by Tani Pat because they are trying to suspend this fraud. She defended herself against accusations she was shielding Gulele from accountability. Well, she is, and it's time for Tani Pat to go. Time for Tani Pat to go. Why a good, the reason why the good party has a seat in the cabinet is because Tani Pat is really just an ANC stalwart who's just, still loyal to the Tully House. Despite the fact she left the ANC, started the Independent Democrats or whatever the hell it was she started, and then she dumped that. She joined the DA, she dumped that. She created a good nothing party. Tani Pat needs to go. Yep. Unbelievable. She is complicit in this. Her hands are in it. She's up to her hips. So this one's going to be a video. Chris, you better get home soon. By now there are 10 tents in your yard. I don't know about that. Yes. Nobody has a password to my Wi-Fi, so I know they're not watching. A defiant Sandef chief draws a line in the sand, gives Antimotcheka the middle finger. So this is after Minister 30% made the ludicrous statement that General Mapanywe was correct. It was okay what he did in Iran. It wasn't. It shows you how stupid this woman is and how unqualified she is to be Minister of Defense. I've already covered that. She has no concept of the separation of politics and military leadership. You cannot conflate the two. She is dumb as a box of rocks, and that's an insult to a box of rocks. Minister 30% is now Minister 5%, Antimotcheka. The woman who destroyed basic education in South Africa is destroying national security in South Africa and destroying civil military relations all at the same time. She needs to go. Bantu Holomisa needs to be elevated to be the minister. Enough of this nonsense, Sir Ramaphosa. We need a competent, qualified person as the Minister of Defense in South Africa. So she needs to go. So now this general is defying her. He needs to be fired forthwith. This man should be court-martialed for his insubordination. His actions in Iran were off the chart, inappropriate. They were inappropriate. They were uncalled for. And now he is defying the Minister of Defense, whom he has to answer to. General Rudzani Mapanya reportedly told colleagues Colonel Eugene Motati would never be reinstated under his watch. Military Ombud ruled dismissal unlawful after sexual harassment allegations were never formally tested. So the South African National Defense Force Chief General Mapanya has allegedly vowed to continue defying Defense and Military Veterans Minister Angie 5% Motcheka's instruction to reinstate the colonel. The Air Force officer was unlawfully dismissed in September of 2019 on untested sexual harassment allegations by an SABC journalist. Mapanya was allegedly told colleagues that Mulati would never be reinstated under his watch and that he will only comply with a court order. Sources close to the matter claim this stance was a deliberate show of defiance, effectively giving the minister the middle finger. Wow. And city press revealed that Mapanya had ignored the minister's instructions to reinstate the colonel. This is unprecedented. The chief of the SANDF is effectively challenging the authority of the minister. It raises serious questions about accountability and governance in the military. What is strange is that he's offered no reason for refusing to reinstate the colonel. Yep, this is a military on the verge of a coup. A military on the verge of a coup. This is a person who must be court-martialed, charged with insubordination, arrested and prosecuted forthwith. He is a threat to South Africa's democracy. He's already proven that with his actions in Iran. That could have been simple dismissal. Now he's defying the authority of civil leadership. He must be arrested, charged with a crime, and prosecuted for his actions. Simple as that, folks. As simple as that. This guy is a rogue. He's off the reservation. He has no business whatsoever in uniform. He is a disgrace to the South African National Defense Force. He's a disgrace to the Commissioned Officer Corps the world over, professional militaries. He is an absolute joke, and he must be removed. His arrogance is beyond the pale, beyond the pale, beyond the pale. Now, Lynette thinks he's disposable. I don't think he's disposable. I think he thinks he's empowered. And he maybe did speak for the government, but the government cannot allow that sort of thing to happen. Yep. Cannot allow that to happen. Cannot allow that to happen. So what else I got here? The Greek was already talked about. Also, here, the New York Times now is trying to defame the Trump administration once again. He told Steenhuisen in Parliament to shut up. I didn't see that, Lorette. People keep saying that, but when did that happen? Nobody gave me the date or a video link to it. Reframing January 6th, after the pardons, the purge. In its campaign of uprooting the foot soldiers, the Trump Justice Department has fired and demoted more than 24 January 6 prosecutors, even as those they sent to prison walked free. Well, good, because this was prosecutorial abuse. People who committed misdemeanors were sentenced to felonies. They convicted them of felonies that they didn't even commit and sent them to prison because the Capitol Police failed to defend the Capitol that day. The lawyer took the elevator 33 floors to the U.S. Attorney's office, where for 8 years he'd worked as a highly regarded prosecutor. He had a container of homemade chocolate chip cookies to share and some thoughts to keep to himself. Yeah, I have to be polite, the lawyer explained as the elevator rose, but I don't want to minimize or make it seem like everything's okay. It's not. Mr. Gordon was heading up on this steaming late July day in Tampa, Florida, to collect his things and say goodbye. 3 weeks earlier, and just 2 days after receiving yet another outstanding performance review, he'd been interviewing a witness online when a grim-faced colleague interrupted to hand him a letter. It said he was being removed from federal service effective immediately, as in now. Although the brief letter signed by Attorney General Pam Bondi provided no justification, he knew the reason, January 6th. Well, it doesn't matter. You don't need a reason. You're an at-will employee. You're fired. You're sacked. And he should have been escorted out of the building, not going up the elevator to take cookies up there. That's not how it's done. When you're sacked, you're escorted out of the building with armed guards. That's what should have happened. He was being fired for successfully prosecuting people who had stormed the Capitol. What a lie. Assaulting police officers didn't happen. Vandalizing the national landmark, there was no vandalizing. No vandalizing took place. What vandalizing? And disrupting the sacrosanct moment of democracy, the transfer of presidential power. Nothing was disturbed. They did their job. He was being fired he's being fired for being a political operative. That's why he's being fired. Letter did more than inform Mr. Gordon, a 47-year-old father of two, that he was unemployed. It confirmed him that his view that the Justice Department had been honored to work for was now hoping to whitewash a traumatic event in American history. No, we're not whitewashing anything. The entire January 6th was a setup. It was a complete setup. The whole thing was fraudulent. We saw that. The press didn't show up in the White House when Trump tried to do an address to tell people to behave peacefully and leave the Capitol building. The press refused to come in and air that. He went on to Twitter. He aired on Twitter. He did 2 videos. Twitter removed those and blocked his account so no one could see what Trump had said. It was a complete setup. Trump never told people to storm the Capitol. He never said to attack anybody. That was a group of people who were there intentionally trying to incite violence. I have video evidence of it. I offered to the FBI. They had no interest in it whatsoever. None whatsoever. From a 30-year counterintelligence officer in the U.S. military, they had no interest in having footage of people who were intentionally inciting violence, which I offered to them. They refused to accept it. They had no interest in it whatsoever. All they wanted were photographs of Stupid people who walked in the building when the police opened the doors. That's what they want photographs of, so they could perpetuate this fraudulent narrative of an insurrection. That was not an insurrection. What took place in Seattle was an insurrection. The Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone was an insurrection, actual genuine insurrection, when people sought to overthrow the government, the federal government, the city government, the county government, and the state government. And they cordoned off a section of Seattle, including the federal courthouse, blocked it off, and they segregated that society. That was an insurrection, what happened in Seattle. Not what happened in Washington, D.C. What happened in Washington, D.C. was a failure by the Capitol Police and by the District of Columbia Police to do their job and secure the Capitol building. I mean, honestly, people, I have footage of these idiots allowing the television tower to be erected 3 weeks before the damn swearing in. Why was that tower up on January 1st? Never should have been up. And why wasn't it secured? Allowing people to climb up on top of it. Why did the police put barricades? And the barricades were bicycle racks, not jersey barriers, not concertina wire, not barriers. Why is it that Parler informed the federal government on December 23rd of potential rioters who were saying things in the chat that made them concerned that there would be violence on January 6th? Why was that information never given to President Trump? Why was it sent to the National Counterterrorism Center and it was sat on? The FBI had the information. The Counterterrorism Center had the information, and the cops did nothing about it. There was no action taken. December 23rd, they started sharing it. We have the email, we have the receipts. We have the receipts for what was said and done. Parler was shut down by fraudulent Amazon leftist hate-wanking Jeff Bezos because they lied and said that Parler facilitated the January 6th events. No, they were the only social media site that reported this to the federal government. Facebook facilitated what happened on January 6th for those misbehaving. Why is this? This is all fraudulent, all fraudulent. And this guy is all part of it, all part of it. These are the people who demonically imprisoned grandmothers and Vietnam veterans for walking in a building. They were wrong. It's a misdemeanor. They should have been charged with misdemeanor. Meanwhile, they had no interest in prosecuting the Epstein case. They spent their time going after Americans on this trumped up, fraudulent, bogus insurrection. Nothing with the January 6th. Beyond that, they did nothing with Epstein. They had 4 years to do something with Epstein. They did nothing with it. Nothing with it. Notice of removal from federal service. This memorandum provides official notice you are removed from your position as Assistant United States Attorney, Florida, and from the federal service effective immediately. Pursuant to Article 2 of the United States Constitutional laws of the United States, your employment with the Department of Justice is hereby terminated. You're removed from federal service effective immediately. If applicable, you may have the right to file an appeal of this removal with U.S. Merit Systems Protection Board within 30 days. Good. There you go. Got what he decided. Got what he deserved. Got what he deserved. I have no empathy whatsoever for these fraudulent prosecutors. The members of Congress need to be gone after now. They abuse their positions in Congress. All right, so what else? Let me share in the chat. Average household support is 143,000 per annum in 2023. Thank you very much for that, Chippy. 143,000 rand. Okay, 143,000. So that's what, about $8,000? Okay. Oh, I hate this Windows 11. I don't want that. I want programs. Oh, gee, many crickets. I hate Windows 11. I don't want pinned ones. I want to see all programs. There we go. Calculator. 143,000. 143 divided by 18 equals 7,900. I said about 8,000. Okay, let's look at the average income, per capita income, per capita income of blacks in America. $23,000, 3 times what it is in South Africa. Household income was 53,000. 53,000. So 53,700. Okay. 54,000 divided by 54,000 divided by 7,900. So nearly 7 times, black families have nearly 7 times the family income of South Africans. Individuals 3 times the income. So yeah, that's just a bunch of nonsense we're hearing. Yeah, we can't take your government seriously, Philip. You better get home sooner. Now there will be 10 tenths, okay? You should hear one MP tell a listener on air to go to hell. Darlene, that was General Bantu Holomisa, and he was right to do it. The person was disrespectful and rude, and they should go to hell. Clowns, liars, thieves, criminals only get promoted. Yep. Eric Darter. Who's Eric Darter? I think the general spoke on behalf of the government to say they want him because. Okay, got it. Okay. Trust you're well. Thank you, Rudolph Skeppers. I'm okay. Thank you for that. Okay. Justice, how's it going? Okay. What else we got here? Why did NDK's comment get removed? Matthew says, I'd love to make $8,000 annually. Yep. Say goodnight, Maz. Okay, goodnight. Okay, people are disappearing left and right here. It must be too late for South Africans. It's 9:30 here. Must be 10:30 in South Africa. Anyway. All right. What's your FBI read bolt? My take on that. Chippy, I haven't read about that yet. I heard about it yesterday. Someone told me about it, but I haven't read about it. I need to take a look into it, okay? But I've got some videos produced that, 5 or 10,000 people watch, maybe 3,000. All right. Anything else I want to cover before we wrap up here? Got that one, got that one, got that one, got that one, got that one. I'm over here. Okay, got that one. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. The New York Times also upset that Trump is angry about mail-in ballots. And I agree with President Trump. Mail-in ballots are ridiculous. It undermines the sanctity of voting. Yep. Yet something quite shocking did emerge from a second journey through the mangled syntax of Mr. Trump's diatribe against mail-in ballots and voting machines that are a complete and total disaster. Buried in the long harangue was an announcement. The president had a plan to get rid of election procedures that he alleged were scams. He intended to dictate, apparently by executive order, how states should count and tabulate their votes. Well, he doesn't have the authority, so I don't know what they're talking about. Trump can't give an executive order over the states. He has no authority. So this is just a non-story they're making up to hate Trump. New acronym driving South Africa's summit with Trump, MASGA. Make America Shipbuilding Great Again. Oh, my goodness. So, in July, the U.S. South Korea entered a decisive phase of trade talks. South Korean negotiators brought a sealed box for their American counterparts. Inside the box, which had been rushed from South Korea to Washington, 10 red baseball caps bearing the slogan, Make America Shipbuilding Great Again. South Korean and American flags on there. Well, we'll see. Our shipbuilding is a disaster. We used to be the best shipbuilders in the world. Now the Koreans are. Finns were pretty good at it too one time. Ukraine has quietly blocked, or Pentagon has blocked Ukraine's long-range missile strikes on Russia. Withheld approval. Pentagon for months has been blocking Ukraine's use of long-range missiles to strike inside Russia. High-level Defense Department approval procedure, which hasn't been announced, has prevented Ukraine from firing any U.S.-made long-range tactical missile systems or ATACMS against targets in Russia since late spring. Good. They shouldn't have ATACMS. What moron ever gave them ATACMS, Joe Biden? Well, SpaceX is continuing on. They're going to keep going with the Starship. SpaceX is aiming to reignite its 403-foot tall Starship project. The rocket core to founding a stream of landing humans on Mars has struggled through a rough stretch with the spacecraft beset by leaks, propellants mixing together, and fires during 3 other test missions this year. On Sunday, they're set to launch Starship at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from its complex outside Brownsville, Texas. Okay, so 7:30 Eastern Time. That's going to be early in the morning, Monday. So 7:30. That's going to be 12:30 my time. If I'm up, I'll try to watch it. Spacecraft fares have set SpaceX's ambition back. Anyway, so they're going to launch another Starship tonight. We'll see how that goes. Starship again tonight. Hopefully it goes off. J.D. Vance says Russia's made significant concessions in its effort to end the war with Ukraine. They've acknowledged there's going to be some security guaranteed to the territorial integrity of Ukraine. So Vance says they've made progress. Interpol-led operation leads to the arrest of more than 1,200 suspected cyber criminals in Africa. In Angola, 25 crypto mining centers manned by 60 Chinese nationals were among the malicious infrastructures dismantled, Interpol stated. A sweeping intergovernmental operation coordinated by Interpol has resulted in the arrest of 1,209 alleged cyber criminals across Africa and the takedown of 11,432 malicious infrastructures. Investigators from 8 African countries and the UK took part in the crackdown dubbed Operation Serengeti 2.0 from June to August. Authorities tackled cyber crimes, including ransomware, online scams, business email compromise, inheritance scams. Recovered 970, is it 97? 97.4 million, excuse me. A total of 87,858 individuals fell victim to these cyber crimes. Wow. Local authorities dismantled 25 cryptocurrency mining centers, and 60 Chinese nationals were illegally validating blockchain transactions to generate cryptocurrency. Wow. That's big news. That's big news. In the Seychelles, in Zambia, crackdowns occurred in Angola, Benin, Cameroon, Chad, Ivory Coast, DRC, Gabon, Ghana, Kenya, Mauritius, Nigeria, Rwanda, Senegal, South Africa, Seychelles, Tanzania, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. Wow. So, Chinese nationals robbing people from Africa now. They're going to Africa to rob people. Jeez. So, as I said, Asanati Labakani has tested positive for a banned substance. Yep. South African Institute for Drug-Free Sport reported an adverse analytical finding from his sample taken during random testing by the organization. It's put a serious threat to his career. His 26-year-old has been dropped from the Springbok side that will travel to New Zealand. In a statement, South African Rugby said the non-performance enhancing substance for which he tested positive was prescribed by a specialist physician early 2012 for medical reasons, and the player also declared it. So what's the problem? If a doctor prescribed it, he declared it, what's the problem? Non-performance enhancing substance which he tested positive was prescribed by a specialist physician in early 2025 for medical reasons, taken with the approval and supervision of medical doctors specifically appointed to manage medical affairs of professional rugby players. He was transparent in his declarations, acting in good faith, and at all times followed the medical due process as prescribed by the industry. He relied on the relevant professional medical advice, and at no time did he seek to obtain unfair advantage. So why is he being punished? That's just messed up. That is just messed up. That's crazy. That's crazy, folks. Why is that happening? Samson did a song, Immigration. Huh. Wow. Samson has a new song. Let's see what his new song is. Immigration. 5 days ago. I haven't heard this one yet. Barry Obama. Why is Barry Obama? Oh, it's part of the video.
Immigration laws. And I believe that they must be held accountable, especially those who may be dangerous. That's why over the past 6 years, deportations of criminals are up 80%. And that's why we're going to keep focusing enforcement resources on actual threats to our security.
Samson. Beware profanity. This might be a lot of profanity.
If you're illegal, we don't fucking want you here. I don't care if you're brown or if you got blonde hair. I don't care what color you are, it's all the same. If you're as white as Elon or dark as Toby Lane, you do it legal. And if you don't, get the fuck out. Rules keep our lives civilized, otherwise we bug out. If we don't vet citizens at the entrances, and it's a recipe for disaster. We can't just let anyone in, that's crazy. They ain't just grabbing random people. They ain't just driving around and packing vans with Latinos. This ain't a haphazard attack on the Latin scene. It's cracking down on those who came through a passage that was illegal. I don't see the issue, and most Mexicans don't either. It's always the younger crowd that's acting so eager. So fuck the kids, ask their parents what they see. If they're immigrants, I almost guarantee they disagree. See, there's no one more proud in this country than those who came to it and did it the legal way and made dough and attained the shit. Then they turn around and see this protest nonsense. All these posters for folks who didn't go through the process. My father-in-law came to this country with nothing, no money to his name, turned nothing to something. And when he sees the videos of all the sudden destruction, he looks me in the eyes and tells me that he's fucking disgusted. You'll never see it in that crowd. It's just a bunch of kids holding up fuck ICE signs, but they don't know what they did. They don't even know who the hell was detained, and if you asked them, I bet they couldn't even tell you their names. It's fucking insane. There's no sense to be had, no thought whatsoever, no direction or path. If you're protesting being sent back to your country, then why the fuck would you be holding up the Mexican flag? Explain it to me, 'cause really it doesn't make any sense to me. Who's the enemy? Your movement perplexes pleases me. That's like breaking out of prison and going straight to the street and holding up a picket sign for the penitentiary. You know, I always been a firm believer in statistics. I always thought the numbers that you see are realistic, but I don't know. After the riots in LA, I think the unemployment rate is way higher than they say. Look at you fucks. Good heavens, Pete's sake. Y'all been out in these streets now for several weeks, man. Y'all just doing it to do it. You don't even care that much. You ain't doing it for the cause. You just there to tear shit up. And what the fuck's with all the white people up in the mix? My people always gotta have something to fix. Did you ever think for one split second they don't want you there and you're just getting in the way of what they're trying to accomplish here? Don't worry, you don't have to face it alone. If there's a racial issue.
All right, well, that's Samson. Apparently, that hurt some people's feelings. Yeah, I moved this channel very long. We love Samson here. He's got 231 dislikes, 21,000 likes, 121,000 views 5 days ago. It's about time. Not one of his best raps, but the guy's an incredible rapper. Incredible rapper. I love what he did with Capsaicin. That was really good. Why does NDK's messages keep getting deleted? Why is his messages getting deleted? Anyway, yeah, Lee Mother's Love says good song. Anyway, so that's Samson. For those who don't, Samson, Samson. Yeah, really good young rapper. He's done well. He's not wrong. Well, he's absolutely right. That's why his stuff is really good. His 4613 is great. Let's keep it country. Okay. NDK saying why is it getting deleted? I just asked that question, NDK. You didn't say anything wrong, so I don't know why you're getting deleted. Somebody got a beef with you? One of my moderators, you chill. All right, let's make a song here. Give me some thoughts here, folks. Give me some thoughts. Create. What do we want to do here for a song? Are they changing it again? What's going on here, man? Okay. Okay. I just saw CBC News did a piece on her. They also watch your content. Oh, I know they obviously, Francis, they do watch my content. No, News 24 watches it. SBC News watches it. Daily Maverick watches it. The South African watches my content. IOL watches my content. That's at least 5. I know that also a few other publications watch it too. I'm not going to mention them because they're decent publications. We need a song here. Oh, okay, there you go. Okay. I got it. Okay, got it. Inspiration, let's call it. Okay. Let's go. What's going on here? It's the thing. Okay, custom. Okay, style. Oh, style. I want to do. Okay. Okay, hang on, folks. Okay. All right, let's see what happens here. Okay. There we go. Okay, now it's generating. Okay, here we go. So I'm generating music now, folks. Let's see what happens. Hang on. You read my comment. I just wonder if it's true. It's hard to believe all stuff. What stuff is it? No, the signal is fading is what I'm calling it. Aretha's going to, I have to listen for the new song. Okay, Currently you made a video. Okay. Okay, hang on, guys. The song should be done now. I did a country version. Let's see how the country goes. Come on. Here we go. Okay, here we go. No Time for Terror. I wanted to call it The Signal's Fading. The fan is blowing loud on my laptop. Sorry. It's a long intro.
The signal's fading, the towers sway, dark deals whisper, shadows play, the lines they crossed, now truth won't stay. No time for terror, no time today. No time for terror, no time for lies. The web is tangled, the signal dies. Cut the cords, let the truth arise. No time for terror, open your eyes. Boardroom shaking, the papers burn, prophets poison, will they ever learn? The world is watching.
Sure can, dude. You can send me a WhatsApp. Send it tonight if you want.
No time for terror, bridges to spurn. Whose hands build the silent chain? Whose greed fed the growing stain? No time for terror, no time for lies. The web is tangled, the signal dies. Cut the cords, let the truth arise. No time for terror, open your eyes.
You guys like this one? Hey, Matt Canale, how's it going?
Every dollar drips with cries. Every tower scrapes the skies. You can't buy.
All right, let's listen to the second one here.
The signal's fading, the towers sway, dark deals whisper, shadows play. The lines they crossed, now truth won't stay. No time for terror, no time today. No time for terror, no time for lies. The web is tangled, the signal dies. Cut the cords, let the truth arise. No time for terror, open your eyes. Boardroom shaking, the
Hey, Teresa.
papers burn, prophets poison,
I like that one better. Okay, now I did it in reggae. The signal's fading. Yeah. Okay. No time for terror. This is in reggae. Let's see how this goes.
The signals weak, the wires frayed. Truth unravels every day. The shadow deep, a whispered lie. Caught beneath the blood red sky. No more masks, no more skin. It's darker than the darkest dream. No time for terror, no time to stop. Burn the towers, tear down the walls. The signal's fading, it's plain to see. No time for terror, no time for greed. Swayed with shame, echoes screaming.
Yeah, I'm not impressed by that.
The signal's weak, the wire's fray. Truth unravels every day. A shadow deal, a whispered lie. Caught beneath the blood red sky. No more masks, no more schemes. It's darker than the darkest dreams. No time for terror, no time to stop. Burn the towers, tear down the walls. The signal's fading, it's plain to see. No time for terror, no time for greed. No time for terror. Burn the towers, tear down the walls. The signal's fading, it's plain to see. No time for terror, no time for greed. Burn it up, 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 burn it up. Burn it up, burn it up, burn it up, burn it up, gold line pockets weighed with shame. Echoes screaming every name. You saw the lines, you crossed the code. Now the burden's yours to hold. Static crackle.
All right, I agree that the reggae one, both of them I like them both better. The second one, so we'll call one the signal's fading and no time for terror be the other one. I'll load those up. Okay, cool beans. All right, I'm glad you guys are here. I can't do this every night because I'm moving around, sort of thing. So and I don't always have the bandwidth, but tonight I had the bandwidth, so I thought I'd do this to get you up to date for the weekend. Thanks for being here, folks. Be sure to hit the like button. We got over 2,000 watches tonight. Really appreciate it. And congratulations to the Lady Boks who rolled to a victory 66-6 over Brazil. And also the Springboks who squeaked out a victory yesterday in Cape Town 30-22 in a soaked DHL Greenpoint Stadium pitch. That pitch is a mess again. They need to do something about that place. I come here and every pitch I go to is brilliant in York, at Sunderland, and here in Northampton. All the pitches are fantastic. And I look at the ground in South Africa and just how poorly it's maintained. Why is it that difficult to maintain a pitch? I don't understand that. When the British do such an amazing job, you think the South Africans could do well also. Anyway, folks, thank you very much. Be sure to hit the like button. Thanks for the super chats, the ones I got. Thanks for the likes, and thanks for the handful of people stuck with us this late. That's going to do it for tonight, and I'll have a couple prepared videos I'm going to record tonight, so I'll catch you guys later. Be sure to hit the like button on your way out, and we'll catch you next time here on Chris Wyatt. Cheers.